Hey guys, it's your girl Opinionated. Now, I recently changed my name to Nosy Gang NC because I seen that I wasn't the only one with that name. Not that I thought I was, but it's like I need to have a name that stands out so when I gain a new audience or new viewers, they will know how to find me. Now, as you all know, I do talk about the drama, but I'm also going to be touching on different topics as well. And one of those is going to be true crime because I am a true crime fanatic. I always keep up with the updates. And so, why not do something that I also enjoy? So, today, guys, we are going to be talking about an update that I learned about the murder of Faith Hedgepeth. As you all know, she is from my state, North Carolina, and at the time of her death, she was a UNC college student and she passed away in 2012. Well, 9 years and 9 days after her murder, which is so sad, they arrested a guy by the name of Miguel Enrique Seguero Alvarez, 28 years old of Durham. He was taken into police custody more than 9 years after the 19-year-old sophomore was beaten to death in her off-campus apartment. Now, the Hedgepeth family made a statement on the arrest in the case of her death, saying, "Our Faith had a heart of gold and an infectious smile that illuminated a room. Although her time on earth was short, Faith had an enormous impact on many. Our lives were forever changed when Faith was taken from us on September 7, 2012. We are relieved to know that someone has been arrested in Faith's case. We thank the members of the Chapel Hill Police Department, the NC State Bureau of Investigation, and other agencies that had a hand in the investigation. We are grateful for all the support that we have received across the country over the past 9 years. As we move into this next phase, we ask for your continued support, patience, and understanding as we limit commenting on the investigation. They have advised to please continue to keep them in your prayers."
Enrique Salguero Olivares is in the Durham County Jail charged in her murder.
Now, at the time of her murder, Salguero Olivares and Hedgepeth were 19 years old. And new at 11, CBS 17's Amy Cutler has more on today's big arrest.
Yeah, Rod, Angela, her family is still devastated. This is something that they have never gotten over. Every year, every anniversary, every birthday, they have tried their hardest to keep this story in the news, hoping that there might be some new development that would lead to an arrest. Investigators say it's haunted them too.
She was 19 years old, a sophomore at UNC Chapel Hill with big dreams, on a scholarship, working her way through college. She wanted to become a pediatrician and help her Halawa Saponi tribal community. All of it came to an abrupt, brutal end when Faith Hedgepeth was found beaten to death in her off-campus apartment. It happened back in 2012.
I went right back to September 12, 2012, and I couldn't function, I couldn't think.
That's what her father, Roland, said was his reaction when he got the call from investigators. They'd made an arrest.
When I cried, it was tears of joy, tears of relief.
Police charging 28-year-old Miguel Seguro Olivares with first-degree murder. So what made the difference? What cracked the case?
SBI and the Chapel Hill Police Department submitted a DNA sample to the state crime lab, and we had, of course, the DNA profile from the original crime scene, and there was a match generated.
Investigators have had DNA from the crime scene all this time. It's unclear if Salgura Olivares was finally added to the database or what may have changed. Authorities wouldn't say.
Joy, and I thought that ache of empathy for Faith and her family.
Hopefully you all, or the people even that didn't know her, will always remember her.
Now, the news have asked the police about the relationship between Hedgepeth and Miguel, but the authorities said they couldn't comment on that while the investigation was still active. Now, they are advising that he will be represented by a public defender. And just to give you an overview on the case, She was last seen alive around 4 a.m. on September the 7th, 2012, when her roommate left their apartment at Hawthorne at the View on Old Durham Road in Chapel Hill. Now, the autopsy has shown at the time that she was beaten to death and she sustained severe head injuries. The investigators said that an empty liquor bottle was used in the crime. Now, guys, they are saying that he is a person of interest since the beginning of the investigation. No, let me take that back. He wasn't. But I guess, people have already knew that and they was talking out about it. They had their suspect, but how they have to sit up there and investigate, talk to people before they can formulate their opinion to arrest someone. So now they stating that the arrest came after the state Bureau of Investigation and the Chapel Hill Police Department submitted a DNA sample to the state crime lab that matched the profile found at the original crime scene. Wow, guys, if they would have done that a long time ago, this murder could have been solved. Now, they did decline to say how that the authorities obtained the DNA, but guys, all in praise, I am so glad that this family can finally, have closure to the case, because that was a big case back in 2012. I remembered it, I was following it, and it's always good to catch that suspect. As you all know, Faith was a sweet individual who had so much going for her. She was an undergraduate student in her third year at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill at the time. Now, Faith have always been a smart individual. A little look into her background: she was an honor student, a cheerleader, and a member of many extracurricular clubs and organizations. It's so sad that, this suspect murdered her. I mean, because if you look at Faith, she seems like a breath of fresh air. You can tell that her family was very, very devastated. And that friend that she was with at that time, I think it was Gabriella, someone needs to also bring her in for questioning, because the way, the circumstances had my suspicions also. Like, she needs to be questioned as well, because at the time I think she knew more than what she was saying to the authorities. But anyways, guys, so glad to see that arrest has been made for the murder of Faith Hedgepeth, and as more details are to come, I will be updating you guys as we go along with this case. Once again, guys, I want to thank you for stopping by to check out my channel. If you like my content and you want to tune in with more of the true crime recap, please feel free to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Thank you, and I appreciate your time, and I hope to chat with you again soon.